Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Guvan Aga. In today's video, I'm making this video for individuals who want to study in Switzerland but don't have any idea of where to start from or what to do. So I'm going to be detailing how to go about searching for a master's course, what university you need to check, the scholarship options available, cost of living as per transportation, accommodation, food, your visa documents and processes, just all the T's, right? So if you know any individual who wants to study in Switzerland but don't know how to or would like an information, please remember to like this video to give it more publicity and also help me share this video to that person. So without further ado, let's get started. Thank you. If you want to do a master's, the first thing you need to know is the location of your master's, the location of your school, and then the course of choice. Say you want to do a master's in Switzerland, you need to of course choose what course you want to study. The next thing you do, go onto Google. There are two options. Search, for instance, you want to do a master's in project management, search master's in project management in Switzerland. And then there's a list of universities that offer the project management that Google would bring up for you. Then thereafter you can search the individual schools and see the requirements that they have. Number two option is to go and search universities in Switzerland, and there are many universities in Switzerland: University of Bern, University of Geneva, Zurich, Lausanne, Basel. You individually search for your course, project management, on there. There are a list of things you need to search for when you are on the university's website. When you've gotten your course of study, there are a list of things you need to search for on there. Number one, the most important thing you need to search for is your the admission requirements, right? And then the second thing you need to also search for is your application deadline. The third thing, the application fee. The fourth thing, the language of study. So in my previous videos, you've already heard me say that the university offers these courses based on the language of the canton. So if the canton speaks German, some of the courses are offered in German. So if you speak only English, it's important for you to check if that course is offered 100% in English. Sometimes they do 50-50 German and English, but if you only speak English, there are some courses that are available that are taught only in English, so you need to verify that. The other things you need to check is your tuition fee, and then if scholarships are available for that particular course. So what you also need to know is you can as well send the school an email at any point in time if you have an inquiry. Usually there's an admission email there, so no shade, but like, this is not Africa. If you send an email, they would respond to you any question you have. So for instance, you do not see any list of scholarship available, you can also send an email to the school to inquire if there are scholarships available to help you to study. Yeah, so that's it. So by this time you have submitted your application to the school, right? The next thing you need to do is to go to Swiss Embassy's website online and read up on student visa, obtaining a student visa, and everything that is written therein. I'll advise that you also download the form, fill the form, and ensure that your required documents are prepared pending when you get an offer letter from the school, so that when you get an offer letter, now you have everything ready. You submit the form online and then wait for them to book an appointment for you, if that makes sense. This is also a very important time to start searching for accommodation, because one of the requirements is that you must have an accommodation before you travel. So this is a great time to search for accommodations in that canton. There are usually subsidized student lodges or student accommodations or shared apartments that you can get. So just search online, you'd find all the information that you need. So the next thing I'll be dealing with is the cost of living. I want to talk a bit about tuition fees. For the public universities in Switzerland, the tuition fees are like very affordable. I think where most people have a problem with is the amount for the cost of living. So for the tuition fees for international students, your tuition fee would range from 900 to 1005 francs per semester. So if you convert, I would have to convert this to show you the dollar rate and probably the naira rate, but it is really affordable. So but to be sure, this is just an average I'm calling for you. To be super sure, you'd have to check, you know, your school's website and the course you're studying to determine the exact cost of tuition fee. Moving on to student accommodation. By the way, I have a couple of student accommodation on my channel in Bern and in Geneva, so do well to check them out and see what it looks like, how much, and the utilities that are provided if you're living in a student, you know, accommodation. So for student accommodation, there are subsidized accommodations. It's called student lodge or student accommodation. So here you can either live, have a single room, or you live in a studio, or you have a shared, you know, apartment. Shared apartment just means maybe 3 or 4 people come together and rent one apartment. For single room or studio room in a student lodge, it means that for a single room you have your own room, but you're going to share, you know, the bathroom and the kitchen with your other flatmates. Sometimes you share with 4 people, 5 people, 2 people, you know, it just depends on the student's lodge. Or you have a studio where you have everything to yourself, your bathroom, your room, your kitchen, you have everything to yourself. So the amount for this ranges from 600 francs to 900 francs. In Bern, that's the single room in Bern is like 650 and the studio room is 900. The rooms here in Geneva range from like 650 above, so it depends on what you can afford and how you like to live. Obviously a single room is cheaper, so you may want to do well to check that out yourself. Moving on to food. It's funny because I got a comment recently on my channel, and the girl was trying to educate me on the cost of food, and because I had said that the average amount of money you spend on food in a month is from 300 to 400, and she was like, oh, I eat out, I buy Starbucks, I do this, I do that. And honestly, I didn't even respond to that comment because you're not here. You cannot now be educating me on what I face every time. The amount of money you'd spend in a month, you cannot spend below like 250, minimum 250 in a month. So the average amount of money you spend on food in a month is from 300 francs to 400 francs, depending on how you eat. If you're eating out, that is even more, but like this is just within the range, because there are some things you buy week in, week out, you know, and all of that. So the most popular stores here are Migros, Coop, and Spar, right? Avoid Coop. Coop is the most expensive. So there are some German stores like Denner, Aldi, Lidl, which are, you know, very cheap, very affordable. So you may do well to regularly visit those stores instead of Migros and Coop. Migros is kind of on the, you know, average. Sometimes it's expensive, depends on what you want to buy. Sometimes you can find things that are the same price, the same range of prices at Lidl and Aldi, so that may help you. Also, when buying stuff, always do well to check for the expiration date, and also make sure to get, sometimes you find a lot of things on discount, so as a student that's a good time to, you know, purchase stuffs. So the next thing on my list is the public transport. So in Switzerland, SBB is a company that manages the public transport in Switzerland, and you would pay for the price of your ticket depends on your age. So one thing I would advise is when you come to Switzerland, ensure to pay for the half fare tax. So this means that every time you buy a single ticket or a monthly ticket, you pay half of the price. Usually the duration of the half fare tax is for 1 year, so that is very, it's a good thing to do. And depending on your age as well, when I was 24, when I was below 25, I would pay 60 francs for my monthly tickets, or 45 francs, depends on the zones as well. But when you're from 25 above to actually a certain age, you now pay 60, you now pay 70 or above. Like, if you go to the office, they would also give you all this information. So this is just like just a general information, but you get more information if you go to the office. And buying a single ticket can cost you about 2.22 francs 20 rappen, or 2 francs 80 rappen. That's like 2 francs 80 cents. But usually an average price of the public the monthly ticket will cost you from 60 to 100. Yeah, from 60 to 100 will cost you, like, it's an average price for a monthly ticket. The second to the last thing on my list is health insurance. But by the way, if you haven't liked this video, please like this video. I've been talking a lot. If you've not liked this video, that's very rude of you. But the next thing is health insurance. So health insurance in Switzerland is mandatory if you're going to be living here, but as a student you have a subsidized rate as well. So I advise that once you come to Switzerland and you choose your insurance provider, the next thing you need to do is to apply for the exemption of mandatory health insurance. Usually it will cost 66 francs, 65 francs, 60 francs, depending on the insurance provider. If you do not take out this mandatory insurance, like as an international student now, because the usual price of health insurance in Switzerland is like 300 francs, 400 francs. So that's really expensive, and as a student, it's ridiculous for you to pay that price. So they usually grant the exemption of mandatory health insurance. If you're from the EU, you don't necessarily need to do this. I think people from the EU can still maintain their insurance and insurance provider. The last thing I'm going to talk about is your phone bill. So I forgot to mention that when you rent an apartment, the bills that are included are Wi-Fi, water bill, electricity bills. For students, usually they have the washing machine, but they would give you either a card, you would have to input money there to use to wash, or you have the coin machine where you put money there to wash as well. But when you go out now, you need Wi-Fi or data or internet or whatever. So that's why you need like the data subscription. There are a lot of providers for that. It's Swisscom, Sunrise, there's Leica Mobile, but the Swisscom and the Sunrise are like, they pay higher obviously. So what people do, what most students do actually, is to take Leica Mobile as their phone internet provider. So for Leica Mobile, you can get as low as 24 francs, 29 francs, and the SIM is, I think they do like a free SIM or something. I've forgotten how to do it, but their costs are really affordable. So that's all for the phone and internet bill. I think I've touched on everything. If you have more questions or you have comments, please leave it down below. Like this video, and tell me your suggestions as well. If you have more questions for me, you can either write it down in the comment section or send me an email. I will do well to reply your email when I am, you know, available. And I have other videos on my channel, so you may do well to also check that out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope I did not bore you, but the information I brought was, you know, relevant. So thank you so much, and I will see you in another video. Bye. So the next thing I will be dealing with is the cost of living. I want to talk about a bit. I want what the facilities that you're going to get with those no